We heard the Taoiseach say yesterday that the murder of journalist Pierre Shevchevsky was a war crime. What exactly does that mean when he say it, Ray?
What he means is that it's a violation of the principles or rules governing the conduct of hostilities. Unfortunately, in Ukraine right now, we have an international armed conflict, and therefore that triggers the application of a special set of rules governing how the conduct of hostilities may be conducted by the parties that are fighting. For example, in Ireland today, you can't commit a war crime simply because we're not in a situation of armed conflict. So if there's a murder committed or there's deliberate attacks on civilians or destruction of civilian property and it's linked to the armed conflict, that gives rise to the concept of a war crime. And it's ancient in origin. This goes back centuries. But in more recent times, war crimes are defined in statutes like that of the International Criminal Court, and it sets out a range of actions which may constitute a war crime. And chief among those would be attacks on civilians, and of course a journalist is a civilian.
Ray, if you're talking about these war crimes, they are pursued by the International Criminal Court, the ICC. So if we talk about Vladimir Putin and what's going on in Russia at the minute, Russia aren't even part of the ICC, so they don't even fall under this. So when we're talking about, Vladimir Putin has committed a war crime, does it really matter? Can he be reprimanded for it?
Yes, he can, because the crimes are being committed in the Ukraine. And they're being committed as we speak. And the situation in the Ukraine has been referred to the International Criminal Court for investigation. So, the investigation of activities in Ukraine began before the current conflict. And so Ireland was, among a number of states which referred the situation in Ukraine to the International Criminal Court, thereby giving it jurisdiction. And though Putin may be in Moscow, the crimes are being committed by Russian forces in Ukrainian territory. So therefore, he may be indicted, prosecuted, and investigated for various war crimes. And it's worth stressing that the International Criminal Court is only one mechanism for holding international pariahs like President Putin to account. There are a range of other mechanisms. And in fact, we could set up a special tribunal in the post-conflict situation to investigate what has happened. And there are plenty of precedents for that. And indeed, the UN itself has established courts to investigate situations long after the conflict has ended.